May 2nd, 2011, marked a historic juncture in the global fight against terrorism, the execution of Osama bin Laden. This momentous event reverberated across the globe, sending shockwaves through geopolitical landscapes and stirring emotions of relief, closure, and contemplation. In the wake of the tragic events of September 11, 2001, bin Laden emerged as the face of terror, orchestrating attacks that claimed thousands of innocent lives and reshaping the course of international relations. For nearly a decade, he had remained a shadowy figure, evading capture while instilling fear and uncertainty in the hearts of millions. The news of his demise, announced by then-President Barack Obama,
Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands,
brought a sense of closure to many who had lost loved ones in the 9/11 attacks and subsequent acts of terrorism. Yet, it also ignited a flurry of questions and debates, raising profound ethical, legal, and strategic considerations. The threads of history contemplate the lessons learned from the demise of a man who sought to sow fear and division, but ultimately met his end at the hands of justice.
the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
Osama bin Laden, born in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in 1957 and deceased on May 2, 2011 in Abbottabad, Pakistan, was the founder of the extremist group Al-Qaeda and the architect behind numerous terrorist attacks targeting the United States and other Western nations. He was one of over 50 children born to Mohammed bin Laden, a Yemeni immigrant who became a successful construction magnate in Saudi Arabia. Raised in a wealthy and influential family, Osama bin Laden studied business administration at King Abdul Aziz University in Jeddah. It is believed that during his time there, he was exposed to radical ideologies. Bin Laden's university education not only shaped his extremist beliefs, but also equipped him with the skills necessary to propagate his militant agenda, ultimately leading to his pivotal role as the leader of Al-Qaeda. Bin Laden remained a wanted criminal who the United States believed might be hiding in Afghanistan or the tribal areas of Pakistan close to the Afghan border. Therefore, the hunt for him persisted. US intelligence was able to track him down to a fortified complex in Abbottabad, a medium-sized city near Islamabad, Pakistan, where he was staying. Bin Laden was assassinated on May 2, 2011, during a raid on the complex by a small US force escorted by helicopters. The team was sent to capture bin Laden alive if feasible, not murder him. They were briefed on the pacer, a person who would help others with manual labor in a compound in Badabad, Pakistan. The team had to navigate complex terrain, and Pakistan's modern air defenses were not told that helicopters could be shot down by Pakistan's modern air defenses. After receiving their mission, they began weeks of rehearsals on a full-size version of the compound built in North Carolina. They trained on it numerous times between getting the mission and leaving for Afghanistan. On April 30th, President Obama approved the mission, and Vice Admiral William McRaven, head of the Joint Special Operations Command, planned the mission. The team took off from the US base in Jalalabad, Afghanistan, to Abbottabad, about 150 miles away. Upon entering the compound, they encountered a blackout in the neighborhood, making it difficult for the SEALs to prepare for the assault. The helicopters banked hard 90 degrees, and pilots warned that a chopper can lose lift when dropping into the turbulence of its own downdraft. The team experienced a rough ride, with one helicopter hitting the ground and half the SEALs crashing. The second helicopter abandoned the roof assault, and the SEALs began to improvise. The raid on bin Laden's house was planned to be straightforward, but two helicopters crashed, causing the team to roll. Admiral McRaven advised the team not to try any fancy stuff, just get the guys on the ground and figure it out. The SEALs were in several groups. One group outside the perimeter wall to ensure no one escaped, while the other group roped down into the courtyard. A man carrying a sledgehammer tried to open the locked door, but bullets came through and the man returned fire. A female holding a child and a couple of kids was shot by the SEAL. In a chaotic and intense raid, a team of SEAL Team 6 was tasked with clearing the outer house of a compound and finding another courier with an assault rifle. They were in the process of shooting the second gunman, who had his wife jump in front of him. The women on target were very hostile, unlike what we see in Afghanistan or Iraq. The team secured the ground floor and headed up the stairs to the second floor, where they were told they could expect one of Osama bin Laden's sons. As time was slipping away, members of SEAL Team 6 kneeled around a mangled body on the third floor of a house in Abbottabad, Pakistan. They were concerned about the president's involvement in the helicopter crash and wanted proof before anyone said anything on the radio about killing bin Laden. They turned to a SEAL who spoke Arabic and moved to where the women and kids were. The commanding officer confirmed that bin Laden was indeed bin Laden, using the code word Geronimo for the enemy killed in action. The team on the second floor was grabbing valuable information from a house, including computers, flash drives, and videotapes. They filled garbage bags with items and ran out of time. The neighbors, who had woken up to investigate, were concerned about the situation. The team had more responsibility than anyone else, as they were dealing with what-ifs outside. Burying bin Laden at sea facilitated a rapid and discreet resolution to the situation, avoiding potential complications or disputes over his burial. This ensured that his final resting place remained undisclosed, reducing the likelihood of it becoming a focal point for extremist activity or controversy. In summary, the decision to bury Osama bin Laden at sea was driven by a combination of strategic, logistical, and security considerations aimed at preventing his grave from becoming a symbol of martyrdom or a rallying point for extremist groups, while also respecting Islamic traditions and minimizing the risk of security incidents. The execution of Osama bin Laden was a significant event in contemporary history. As the mastermind behind the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks on the United States, bin Laden was the world's most wanted terrorist for nearly a decade. On May 2, 2011, a team of United States Navy SEALs conducted a covert operation in Abbottabad, Pakistan, where bin Laden was hiding. During the operation, bin Laden was located and subsequently killed by the SEALs. His death marked a major milestone in the global fight against terrorism and brought a sense of closure to many affected by the 9/11 attacks. The event sparked various debates and discussions regarding the legality, morality, and implications of targeted killings and the broader war on terror. His burial adhered to religious customs while minimizing the time between his death and burial. Like, share, and subscribe to know more about such events.